Are you confident? Do you have consistency? How much conviction do you have? I'm Daniel Gomez, the Confidence Architect, a business strategist, keynote speaker, executive coach, and best-selling author. On the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, we will help you unlock confidence to create consistency and develop conviction. Together, we will discover the key that unlocks your confidence. Welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, where we're going to motivate you. We're going to inspire you. And boy, today we're going to educate you. I'm excited. It's a new season here at the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. We have new branding, new colors, new everything. I'm just excited. We're going to bring some amazing guests in this new season. It's really going to inspire you, encourage you, and educate you. And today I'm excited just to do this episode with you and really pour into you the makings of a millionaire mind: character, personality, and traits. What really was going on inside someone's mindset? What's really going on in someone's mind when they start developing and becoming that millionaire, right? What's going on inside? It's kind of like that caterpillar that goes from that caterpillar and then it goes into that metamorphosis stage where it's in that cocoon and then it becomes that butterfly. That's what happens. You go from being a poor-minded human being, and when you're in that cocoon stage, it's hard. It hurts because you don't think you're doing the things you need to do, but really you are. And then next thing you know, you have that next level of success where you hit your $250,000 in revenue, $500,000. Then you hit that $1 million. And man, I'll tell you what, it's a feeling like never before. So get out your pens, get out your papers today on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. We're really going to take a deep dive on millionaire mind personalities, a millionaire mind character, and millionaire mind traits. So I really want you to get out your pen and paper and take notes. And like we always say here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, what you write down, you retain over 50% of the content. You retain over it. And then I want you to go back and listen to this episode again and study it again and look at your notes. Really study your notes, because the fortune's in the follow-up of reading your notes. Yes, the fortune is in the follow-up of you studying and reading your notes and really taking it deep inside your heart and in your subconscious mind. So I'm excited just to spend this time with you and really just pour into your heart, pour into your soul, pour into your life, pour into your business, pour into just who you're becoming. And that's the one thing I want to tell you right now. The makings of a millionaire mind is the journey of becoming. Going from the old you to the new you. It's beautiful. It's really the person you become. And the question I want you to ask yourself right now is, who are you becoming? Yes, who are you becoming right now in this season of your life? Are you becoming a better human being? Are you becoming a better father, a better husband, a better mother, a better spouse, a better business owner? One of the main things that really I've had to work on was my character, is that millionaire mind character. And in my business coaching, I see so many entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, small business owners that they have a big flaw in this one area of their business. And I'm just going to be totally transparent with you that this is something you need to fix. You can't be a person that's having just character issues in integrity and expect God to bless your business. It doesn't work. What are you talking about, Daniel? What do you mean? Well, simply that. You have to have a millionaire mind character in the area of integrity. If God can't trust you with $100 bill, if God can't trust you with $1,000, if God can't trust you with 1,000, how's he going to trust you with 10,000? If God can't trust you with 10,000, how is he going to trust you with hundreds of thousands? If God can't trust you with hundreds of thousands, how can he trust you with $1 million? How can he do that? It doesn't work that way. Let me say it again. If God can't trust you to be a person of integrity with $100 worth of revenue coming into your business, you're not reporting it, how do you expect God to take your revenue from 100 to 1,000, and then from 1,000 to 10,000, then from 10,000 to 100,000, and then from 100,000 to $1 million? You have to be a person of integrity. You have to report every single dollar that you make. I'll never forget it. I was doing some coaching with one of my clients. I was like, "Is this all the revenue you have?" They were like, "Yeah, this is it." I was like, "There's no way possible. There has to be some additional revenue," because I'm looking at the facility, I'm looking at the business that we're in, and it's nice, and it takes money, right? It takes money as a resource to run a business. You got to pay the light bill. You got to pay the employees. You got to pay the cable. You got to pay the Wi-Fi. There's so many variables. There's so much overhead that we have to just invest in it for our business that I said there has to be some additional revenue. And then my client went on to say, well, Daniel, we do get paid cash by a certain number of clients and we just don't report it. I'm like, how do you not report it? How do you not report the revenue that's coming in? That's like, duh. But that's why I'm having this episode for you to really understand, are you doing the little things that are required of you on a daily basis to get your life, to get your business to the next level? When I go speak in these conferences, when I go speak at these corporations and I do corporate trainings on leadership, on sales training, on the millionaire mind in business, and we sell 100 books, 120 books, and we make over $2,000 in revenue. Believe me, we report every single book that we sell. We report everything that we sell. We report everything that we do in reference to our speaking engagements. Sometimes we get paid in cash. Sometimes we get paid in Venmo. Sometimes we get paid in Square. But the bottom line is this, is that you have to report every single dollar that comes into your business, because this is the truth. We think we're cheating the government, right? We think we have an upper hand on them because we're not paying the amount of taxes that we need to pay. But the reality is you're only hurting yourself. Yes, you're only hurting yourself when you're operating as a dishonest business owner. Man or woman, it doesn't matter. You're hurting yourself when you're not being totally transparent with the government and reporting all the revenue that you get. And if you have a CPA that's telling you, well, don't report all your revenue because then you're going to have to pay more in taxes. You know what? It's time to get a new CPA. Let me say that again. If you have a CPA that is telling you not to report every single dollar that comes into your business because it's going to save you in the amount of taxes you're going to have to pay, you need to get a different CPA, because that tax service that you're getting, it's doing you an injustice, because it's causing you to be a person of a flawed character. It's causing you to be a dishonest business owner, and God will not bless a dishonest business owner. Let me say it again. God will not bless a dishonest business owner. You have to go back to your books and really just look at, have I been honest with myself? And I get it, right? Sometimes we get busy in the hustle and bustle of business. We come back from a conference and I'm like, there might be a service or a product, a coaching plan that we sold after the event. And I have this invoice and I'm like, oh man, I forgot to report this $1,000. So what I do in that instance is, say I spoke in April, well, then in the month of May, I include that additional revenue and I report it in the month of May. It's going to happen, right? There's just sometimes we get over, we're blessed with the amazing opportunities to where the blessings just overflow. But when you catch something that wasn't reported, you have to report it. You have to. I'll never forget, I had finished doing our paperwork for, I believe it was 2021, and something just didn't seem right. And I had the speaking engagement, and I know I got paid more than what I was showing on the spreadsheet. And I went back and looked at it, and for some reason we had put the different dollar amount, right? We forgot to put an extra zero. And I said, no. I said, even though that month was closed out, even though no one's going to know, God knows. So do you have the millionaire mind character? Do you have a millionaire's character when it comes to integrity, when it comes to being honest and reporting all the revenue in your business? You have to have it, because the only person, let me repeat this again, the only person you're hurting is yourself and your business by being dishonest with the amount of revenue that you're generating. You're being dishonest. And if God can't trust you with the $100 in revenue, he's definitely not going to trust you with tens of thousands of dollars. It's just a fact. So that's a huge character issue that I see, that there's many flaws in many businesses out there that don't report that revenue. Another character that millionaires have is, right, you have to come from a place of character, right? Are you generous in who you are? Do you have the trait of generosity? Yes, do you have the trait of generosity? One thing that I've just been grateful to God is we have the ability to help a lot of homeless and needy people in our city, and just through our church, through different foundations that we support. And when we're blessed with a certain amount of money, are you giving back to the community? Are you giving back to the kingdom? I can't tell you how to live your life. All I can tell you is the traits that have helped me and my family and our corporation, DG Enterprises, to get to the level that we're at. And one rule that we live by is this, is for every dollar that we earn, the first dime always goes to charity, to God's kingdom. Yes, the first dime always goes to charity. It goes to God's kingdom. The second dime, well, you pay yourself. You have to learn how to pay yourself. Yes, pay yourself. You're saying, Daniel, I can't afford to pay myself right now because I'm not getting the revenue I need. Well, you got to start somewhere. And it's better to start today than wait till tomorrow. Because once you get in the habit of that, remember, it takes 21 days to start forming a habit, 90 days to make it a lifestyle. I'm going to say it again. It takes 21 days to start forming a habit, 90 days to make it a lifestyle. When you start paying yourself first, then you build up just that confidence in your abilities to be able to save money, to let yourself know that, you know what, I can do this. Because you value yourself more. You value your services more. So remember, the first dime, you give it to charity. Wherever God tells you to give that first dime, you give it to that. The second dime is you pay yourself. And the third dime is you reinvest it in your business. You reinvest it in yourself. You are your best investment. Your business is your best investment. You know, one thing that I've learned myself just being right is that millionaire mind. One of the main traits in this is I've met so many young business owners that they have a humongous month. Maybe they make 10,000, 20,000 in a month, and then they splurge that on stuff they don't need instead of reinvesting that huge success they had in business back into the business. They think, I'll never forget what my dad used to tell my brother. He goes, man, when my brother would get his paycheck when he was younger, he would make whatever amount of money he make, and he thought that that check was going to last him forever, and he wouldn't. He would just spend it. He would just like, man. I was like, my dad would be like, no, like you got to be wise with your finances. You got to be wise with the money that you have, and you got to be wise with the revenue that your business is generating. You have to reinvest at least 10% of your profits into your business. I'll never forget when we started having our Millionaire Mind brand just really explode and grow. And it was a book first, and then it became an online program. Our course, we've invested thousands and thousands into our online program at the makings of a millionairemind.com. Our online program is there. Definitely go there and check it out. I know it's blessed hundreds of people. It's gonna soon to be thousands, and I wanted to bless you. But when we were making this online program, the course for the makings of a millionaire mind, it was money we had to invest. And did I want to do it personally? I was like, no, we can just, man, we made a huge profit. Let's just do it. But we invested close to $10,000 in just getting this prepared, getting it launched. And now we've been able to help that money's come back 1,000-fold. I mean, it's additional, it's an additional revenue stream. But if you take that dollar that you earn, and you don't give a dime to God's kingdom, you don't give a dime to pay yourself, you don't give a dime to risk in the business, and God says, well, I can't even trust them with the dollar. I can't even trust them with the dime. How can I give them hundreds and thousands and millions? If you're faithful with the little, you will be made ruler over much. Let me say it again. If you're faithful with the little, that's a trait right there you want to have. You want to have you want to have that in your personality, in your character, in who you are, in your DNA, right? In your millionaire mind DNA, that if you're faithful with the little, God knows he can trust you with more. God knows that. That needs to be a trait within yourself. So write that down. For every dollar I make, a dime goes to God, a dime goes to pay myself, and a dime goes to reinvest in the business. And now look at that. We invested in the course, and now we got trusted with our Millionaire Mind Bootcamp, the makings of a Millionaire Mind Bootcamp. And we've helped many people, many businesses break through the barriers of self-doubt, of just really thinking poor-minded, of a poverty consciousness. It's been amazing, the transformations that we've seen in our live bootcamps. So we made the investment into the business, right? We're talking about that dime, that third dime to reinvest into our business. We spend thousands of dollars on the stage. We spend thousands of dollars on the branding and everything that we're doing with the brand, right, with the trademark of the makings of a millionaire mind, we've reinvested that into the business. And now, because we did that, now we have this boot camp that's just it's amazing with the branding that we've created. But it took an investment back into the business. That's a trait that you need to have. That millionaire trait is reinvesting in your business. You can't take all the profits and splurge them and spend them and then expect, oh, God will bless me, right? God says, well, you didn't even believe in your business enough to reinvest in it, to make it stronger, to make it better. One thing that we've been able to do here at DG Enterprises is we take what we have and we really invest in that. We invest in the people, the employees that we have that help us to do our book publishing, to do our podcast launching, to do just everything that we do here. It's like you want to raise your standards. You want to have millionaire standards. That needs to be a trait that you carry with you every day. If you don't have millionaire minded standards, right? If you don't have your standards up here, you're never going to reach the level of success, because people can see the quality of the work that we produce. And that's another part of having that millionaire mind character. Are you delivering on the products and the services that you're telling your customers? Are you delivering on the products and the service that you're telling your clients? I'll sum it up like this. Are you being impeccable with your word? Part of having that millionaire mind character is you're impeccable with your word. What you say, you do. What you say to your clients, you do. What you say to yourself, you do. What you say to your kids, you do. What you say to your wife, you do. What you say to your husband, you do. Are you impeccable with your word? If you tell your customer that you're going to have XYZ done by Friday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon and it's not ready, well, then you're not being impeccable with your word. I understand there's going to be situations where maybe it's not going to happen that one time, but if you're doing this every single day that you're speaking these things that you're going to do and you don't do it, you're not over delivering to your clients, you're not over delivering to your customers. You're hurting yourself because you're not being impeccable with your word. One of the characteristics you have to have is you have to be impeccable with your word. Another trait that millionaires have is they're relentless. You have to be relentless and resistant, right? You have to be resilient, relentless and resilient. Yes, a trait of having a millionaire mind is being relentless and resilient. Are you resilient? Are you one of those that easily gets discouraged when things don't go your way? You know, do you feel sorry for yourself? Do you fall into that state of self-pity and say, why didn't it work out? What happened? And you're just hard on yourself and you soak and you just sit there in that self-pity. And it's like you don't allow yourself to say, okay, well, what can I learn from this situation? Maybe things didn't go the way I wanted them to go in business, but how can I learn? And millionaire, right? Having that millionaire mind is having that millionaire mind, that relentlessness. You're relentless. You know what? I'm not going to let this discourage me. I'm going to come back and learn from the situation. You're resilient, where you know, like, okay, right? This is making me stronger. This is making me better. I've met so many people that have invested in themselves once or twice, and then they hit this roadblock where things don't go the way they want them to go in business, right? They invest themselves one time and things are going good, and all of a sudden just something doesn't go the way it should have gone. And because it didn't go their way, they give up. They stop. And one trait of a millionaire, another trait about the millionaire mind is that when you have that millionaire mind, you're not always starting and stopping in business. You're not always starting and stopping. Nothing kills your business more than starting and stopping all the time. You can't be starting and stopping. You can't. You have to really see that the situation that came your way, that problem, right? That problem. Like, I have a little graph right here. I want to show you this. I'm going to demonstrate this to you. I have this chart right here. I want to demonstrate to you. These are my little stick men that we use. But if you look down here at the bottom, this little stick man right here, that's you. And that line right there, that's the problem. So many of us, we're so small that we make that problem bigger than us. When God's getting ready to promote you in life, when God's getting ready to promote you in business, he always sends us a gift called a problem. And that problem has helped to build our character, to mature us, to help us build our traits, that millionaire mind. And when these problems come our way, small as he or she, when we allow these problems to overtake us. The genius is this, is that when you realize, wow, I can learn from this scenario, I mean, I can learn from this problem and become bigger, stronger, and better. And then next thing you know, you get promoted to the next level. And now you're looking up and now you have bigger obstacles. Maybe a bigger problem comes your way that you didn't have before. And you can't be smaller than your problems. You have to learn to grow and become bigger than your problems. I look back now in our business, and I look back at the things that bothered me a year ago, things that bothered me 5 years ago. It's like, man, they were huge at that moment. They were like, wow, I was looking up at the Empire State Building. I was looking at King Kong like, oh man, how am I going to do this? But you grow as a human being. You grow as a business owner. You develop that millionaire mind. And part of that is just really understanding that when a problem comes your way, a great trait to have is to know that, right? There's a blessing in every problem. There's a lesson to be learned in every problem. You have to develop that trait. And you develop the personality of not becoming angry when things go your way, when not getting frustrated when things go your way. That used to be the younger Daniel Gomez. You can't be that way. And one thing that I really want you to understand is that part of your character, you have to carry this in your character all the time. You hear it all the time, but I'm going to go in a deeper level, right? Is to really understand that to be grateful for the business you have right now, to be grateful for the clients you have right now. How do you expect God to bless you with 10 amazing clients if you can't even be grateful for that one client that he's given you? And I'm not talking about surface level gratitude. I'm not talking about surface level. I've had to work at this because as human nature, we get complacent. As human nature, we get complacent and we stop doing the things that got us to where we're at. And the same things that got us to where we're at are not going to get us to the next level of business. You got to continue to grow. You got to continue to mature. You have to develop that millionaire mind character, that millionaire mind personality, that millionaire, those traits. So really write this question down right now. Am I truly grateful for the level of business that I've achieved? Am I truly grateful? Because one of the mistakes that I made was this, is that as soon as I would have this huge win, this huge success, I'd be like, yes, I would celebrate that. But then, okay, what's next? I wouldn't really celebrate it at a deeper level. And there always has to be a deeper. As you get higher and higher, it's easy to overlook the successes you have. It's easy to overlook the wins you've had. But really deep down in your heart, have that sense of gratitude, like, man, God, thank you, God. Thank you for this time that you gave us that's really helping us to go to the next level. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for this. That's huge. You have to understand that. Another thing that millionaire mind does is, right, you have to understand that the people that come into your life, some are there for a season, some are there to help you for maybe a year, some are there for maybe for a month. But you can't get upset. You can't allow that bitterness, that resentment to build up in you when maybe God takes somebody out of your life that shouldn't have been there for that long of a season. If you think about it, winter, spring, fall, all these seasons come into our lives, and every 3 months we're blessed with a new season. Right now we're about to enter into the fall, into the summer season, and we're going to be enjoying time at the lake, time on the boat, and that season's going to last for 3 months, and then it'll be fall again. But we're just coming out of spring. We've been able to just enjoy this cooler weather and nice weather outside. It's a season. And so many times we hold on to a season that we've outgrown. You have to have the understanding, right? You got to develop that millionaire mind understanding that things are for a season. And it's time to move on because the next level of life, the next level of business is in that next season. And sometimes the people that got you to where you're at are not the people that can get you to where God's taking you to. They got you to a certain level of success. I'm not saying that you're better than them. I'm not saying that you have to disown anybody or disconnect from anybody, but you have to understand that sometimes a season with a person is for a year, sometimes it's for 3 years, sometimes it's for a month, whatever it may be. But understand that life and business are in seasons. So really ask yourself, as we're going through this episode, Man, Daniel, thank you for this wisdom. Where do I need to change? Ask yourself that. Where do I need to change? Where do you need to grow even more to become more of this millionaire minded human being that you're not, the millionaire minded business owner? Think about that. And are you really, I want you to understand this. I really want you to understand this, is that you need to learn how to value yourself more. I talk on this subject a lot because nothing breaks my heart that when you have that millionaire's potential inside of you and you don't see the value within yourself. You know, one thing I always say is when you have the millionaire mind, you charge your worth, you charge what your value is to the marketplace. You hear me say it, I'm going to say it again, is the marketplace will reward you according to the value you deliver to it. Yes, the marketplace will reward you according to the value you deliver. Let me say it again. The marketplace will reward you, yes, you watching this video, according to the value you deliver to it. Are you delivering $1 million value to the marketplace? If you want to become a millionaire, you have to learn how to deliver $1 million value. You can't deliver 10-cent value to the marketplace and expect to become a millionaire. It doesn't work that way. You got to develop the character to develop the value that the marketplace deserves, especially to your clientele, especially to your book of business. And the main way you do that is when you value yourself more, when you value yourself more, you become a person of value and you value the people that you serve even more. That's a huge, huge, huge shift in how many young entrepreneurs think. I want you to realize this. You're listening to this podcast, you're watching us right now because you were praying for an answer to your problems in your business. And one thing that I want you to understand is millionaires always ask for help. When you have that millionaire mind, millionaires understand that they have to duplicate themselves. Millionaires understand that they have to just ask for help in certain seasons of their life. We all need it. The biggest mistake that I made when I was growing up and growing our businesses, I thought I could do it by myself, but it's easier when you have people around you that support you. It's easier when people around you believe in you and that you can call upon people and they're there to help you and to guide you and to take you. I wouldn't be where, let me explain. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if I would have tried to do all this by myself. I've had coaches and mentors. I've invested. I just really calculated this the other day. I've spent almost over $300,000 already. Yes, 300,000, over $300,000 in myself to this point in the past 5 years to get myself, my mindset to where I'm at. And you think you're going to do it by yourself. Millionaires understand they need a coach, they need a mentor. And even right now in our Show the Faith Millionaire Mind coaching, we coach many millionaires out there because they need help just to see the blind spots that they can't see within themselves. We all need help to see the blind spots that we can't see within ourselves. And millionaires are okay with investing in themselves at a higher amount. So know that you're going to need help at some point. Why prolong it? But let me explain this. When you get a coach, when you get a mentor, they collapse the time. Why do you want to take 5-10 years to get to where someone's at when someone who's already done it can collapse the time and help you do it within 1 year to 2 years, depending on how intentional you are on developing your character, developing your personality, and developing those millionaire mind traits? It's all part of it. You can't have $1 million business and be $100 man or woman. I said again, you can't be the owner of $1 million business being $100 man or $100 woman. It won't make it, because you got to grow your personality. You got to grow your self-image to that. To sustain $1 million business, you have to be $1 million man. You have to be $1 million woman. You have to be $1 million business owner to sustain $1 million business. We've all seen it. We've all seen it where someone all of a sudden pops up overnight and they seem like they're doing amazing. And then they're like, what happened to so-and-so? They didn't have the character. They didn't have the personality. And they didn't have the millionaire mind traits to sustain that business. They were like that radish. They were like that radish that grows overnight from below the ground. In 6 to 8 weeks, a radish is full grown. And they withered away that quick. You, on the other hand, you don't want to be that radish. You want to be that powerful oak tree that is going to sustain decades and live for over 100 years, that Your roots are going to take longer to develop. You're gonna flourish as the palm tree. You're going to flourish as that oak tree, and you're going to withstand the storms. And you're not just going to come up and poof, and you're gone in 8 weeks. No, you're not the radish. You're an oak tree, ladies and gentlemen. When you have the millionaire mind, you think long term. You think just more in depth of what God is going to do for you. So understand this, that there's so much in this world that wants to be given to you, but you have to develop that millionaire mind character. You have to develop that millionaire mind personality, and you have to develop that millionaire mind trait. And part of my personality that I had to grow is to really understand that as you accumulate wealth, I've met so many people that start to look down on people, that start to belittle people. And you can't have that type of personality inside yourself. You can't be that human being. The moment you think you're better than somebody else, the moment you think you're better than them because of the fact that you have money in the bank, there's a scripture in the Bible that says pride comes before the fall. There's a scripture in the Bible that says pride comes before the fall. And if God sees you looking down on people, if God sees you belittling people, if God sees you not being the human being that you used to be because now you have success in the bank account, success in your business, just like that, it can be taken away. So walk in humility, walk in humility, walk in humility, walk in humility. That's one thing that God told me over and over again. He instilled that in my mind, in my heart, in my soul, in my subconscious. He told me that over and over for almost 3 years. Be humble, Daniel, be humble. And I never understood it because I just said, why do you keep telling me this, God? Because it's easy, because pride wants to arise in you and you don't even see it. It blindsides you. I don't want pride to blindside you and cause you all the success you built up to this point, because it can happen. You always got to protect your heart. You always have to protect your heart. I wrote that in our book, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind. You know, one of the biggest lies that we've been told is that money makes you more of who you are. It's not true. Over 90% of the people in America don't even have $100,000 in their savings account. They don't even have $100,000 in their savings account. So how can they say when you become a millionaire that money makes you more of who you are? They don't know. They don't know that. They say it because everybody else is saying it, because they've never experienced that amount of wealth. I can tell you that when our savings account went from $250,000 to $500,000 and so on, that I had to protect my heart because that pride gets in the way, and you do start to think, man, that you're a little bit better than somebody else. And you cannot allow that to happen. You can't judge people. So you have to protect your heart. Same way I put it in my book, you have to protect your heart. You have to. On a daily basis, you have to protect your heart. Because it's easy for pride to rise up. It's easy for your ego to get in the way and blind you. And I'm going to end with this on this episode, is that I really want you to understand this. That for me, the character that I really just built is just being a person of compassion. Being a person of compassion and understanding when people come for you for help, where they're coming from. When you're a person of compassion, you don't look down on people. You greet them with kindness and you have understanding, right? There's a difference between saying, I understand, right? Oh, I understand. No, but are you a person of understanding? When you're a person that has a compassionate heart, when you have that compassionate spirit, when you have that millionaire mind, when you truly, truly serve and are grateful for the blessings that God's given you, and your business goes to the higher levels, always stay as a person of compassion. Always be that human being who has compassion for others. You never know what someone's going through. You never know what they're experiencing in that moment. So have compassion. Think about that. Be a human being of compassion. That's what the millionaire mind is all about. It's the person on the journey that you become. It's the loving human being, the giving human being, the compassionate human being, the human being that provides opportunities for other people. Go back and study your notes and see what really, really stood out to you from this episode. And think about, what are you going to work on? I guarantee you that there was so much wisdom in this that if you truly, truly study the notes, that you're going to see a huge breakthrough in your business. And I would say this, just from what I've seen in being an award-winning business coach, I don't want the fact that you're hiding your revenue, that you're lying on your taxes, to hinder from what God wants to give to you in your business. As a friend, I tell you, this is Daniel Gomez Inspires. Report all your income, report all your revenue, because God wants to give you more. If you need help, reach out to us. Go to our website, danielgomezglobal.com. That's danielgomezglobal.com. Go out there, do our free entrepreneurs assessment, and go to Amazon right now and get our copy of The Makings of a Millionaire Mind. Order your book right now. We want to bless you with that book. This book is going to change your life. We sold thousands of copies. It's helped people over and over again. And better yet, go to our website, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind, and register for our next boot camp. Our next one's going to be November 17th and 18th. That's November 17th and 18th. And then get our online program, The Makings of a Millionaire Mind. It's helped hundreds of people. I'll tell you what, it's making a difference. 27 powerful, life-changing modules that are going to impact your life and change your life. This is Daniel Gomez Inspires saying, if no one's ever told you they believe in you, I'm telling you right now, I believe in you. And I'm going to end with this quote from the great Jim Rohn. To have more, you must become more. Yes, you need to understand, to have more in life, to have more in your business, you must become more. Ask yourself this question: where in my life, where in my business do I have to become more? Thank you so much for spending time with me on this amazing episode. I'll see you next week here on the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show. Thank you. This is Daniel Gomez, and thank you so much for tuning into our show today. We'd love your feedback. Please drop us a comment, and thank you for leaving us a review. Don't forget to subscribe to our show and share this episode with a friend. And my free gift for listening to our show today is a copy of my best-selling book, You Were Born to Fly. To get your free copy, go to danielgomezinspires.com and get your copy today. That's danielgomezinspires.com. And to elevate your life and business even more, follow me on social media at Daniel Gomez Inspires on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Together, we will discover the key that unlocks your confidence.